Good day, everyone. We are now done with the cognitive social learning theory of Rother and Michel. Let us move forward to our next topic, the last but not the least topic for the theories of personality, which is the personal construct theory of George Kelly. Before we dive into a much deeper discussion, let us first know who is George Kelly. So si George Kelly po ay pinanganak at lumaki sa farm. He is an American and born in Kansas. Originally, he was not a psychology major, but rather had a degree in physics and mathematics, master's degree in educational sociology, and a minor in labor relations and sociology. He received his PhD in psychology with a dissertation on speech disability, but later shifted his focus to psychotherapy because of Great Depression. The Great Depression is yung pagkalugmok ng Amerika because of the World War. He thought the people needed his help when it comes to psychological health. Eventually, he began his academic career at Forsyth State College in Kansas and took a position at Ohio State after World War II. He remained there until 1965 when he joined the faculty at Brandeis and died 2 years later at the age of 61. Let us now come to Kelly's philosophical position. The main question is human behavior based on reality or people's perception of reality? Well, his answer is both. He rejects radical behaviorism and extreme phenomenology. Radical behaviorism as siya iniangkan Skinner na environmental factors nakaka-influence sa ating state of mind. While ang phenomenology naman is congruent kan Adler na kung ano ang imo interpretation han imo reality is yun na ang imo reality. It doesn't matter what happened in your reality. What matters is kung ano ang imo interpretation sa reality mo. Well, for Kelly, both daw. Ang mga tao may the reality ng iba-iba ang atong interpretations and atong reality. And these interpretations affects our perception and how we anticipate events. So people have personal constructs or ways of explaining and interpreting events, which is the key to predicting behaviors. Personal constructs are like a person's individual or personal theory of how the world works. So, humans have own interpretations of reality. Naghimo kita in atong kalugaringon ng mga theories, nagka-construct kita in atong kalugaringon ng theories. Personal construct theory does not try to explain nature. Rather, it is a theory of people's construction of events. People's personal constructs or ways of interpreting and explaining events hold the key to predicting their behavior. Each person creates a set of cognitive constructs about the environment. Each person creates a set of cognitive constructs about the environment. He also believes that a person is a scientist. Whenever we decide to do something, we act in the same manner as a scientist. We ask questions, formulate hypotheses, test them, draw conclusions, and try to predict future events. A person's conclusions, like those of any scientist, are not fixed or final. So for example, may nakita observation, ang light bulb wari maglaga. The light bulb is not working. So we ask a question. Ruba na ba ang light bulb? Din magkakaada kita prediction niya kung valuean nato ng bulb yung bago. Maybe magana na nga i-validate nato ng aton hypothesis by doing an experiment. So we will do the experiment by replacing the bulb, and then the result, magana na ang bulb. Next, he said that a scientist is a person. Of course, scientists are also humans. The pronouncements of scientists should be regarded with the same skepticism with which we view any behavior. Every scientific observation can be looked at from a different perspective. Every scientific theory can be viewed from an alternative angle. Huwag daw tayo maniniwala sa kanila unless they have empirical evidences. Kelly believed that all our interpretations of the world are subjected to revision or replacement, an assumption he called constructive alternativism. Ang aton mga ginihimo na construct ng mga theories about aton objective reality can have alternatives. Damo it pwede maging explanation ng theories why things happens. So, di ba nayakan hiranga? Everything happens for a reason. So, we are all constantly faced with alternatives, which we can explore if we choose, but in any case, we must assume responsibility for how we construe our world. Next is the basic postulate, which assumes that a person's processes are psychologically channelized by how that person anticipates events. So when it says personal processes, it refers to a living, changing, moving human being. Channelized suggested that people move in a direction through a network of pathways or channels. It means if you stop moving, you're dead. So basic postulate means we act in a way with how we expect the situation to be based on past events. According Ken Kelly, all people continually create their own view of the world. Kelly believed that people look at their world through templates that they can create and then attempt to fit over the realities of the world. He called these templates or transparent patterns personal constructs, which he believed shape behavior. Just like I said earlier, we have different ways of explaining and interpreting events, which is the key to predicting behaviors. Some people are inflexible and seldom change their way of seeing things. They cling to their view of reality even as the real world changes. Some people construe a world that is substantially different from the world of other people, which is nagiging problema na nagkakos ng conflict kaya di rin nahir nagmamind ang opinion ng iba, which leads to psychosis, hallucinations, and others. Feeling nira ang ira personal construct ang tama. The basic postulate was supported with 11 corollaries. So the first one is construction corollary. It is a similarity among events. No two events are exactly alike, yet we construe similar events so that they are perceived as being the same. The construction corollary states that a person anticipates events by construing their replications. So the best example for this is the sunset and sunrise. Yung perceive natin ang sunset and sunrise as the same as it happens every day. So, para aton, parehas la ang sunset and sunrise, where in fact, diri talaga hiya magkapareho. The second one is individuality corollary, or the differences among people. Persons differ from each other in their constructions of events. People have different reservoirs of experiences. They construe the same event in different ways. Thus, no two people put an experience together in exactly the same. So the example for this is the roller coaster. May duha nga tawo nga magkaiba it perception pag abot sa roller coaster. Ano sa para haiya thrilling ini tas enjoyable, while ano sa naman is risky, ngan and safe. So the third one is organization corollary, or the relationships among constructs. Kelly emphasizes that different people organize similar events in a manner that minimizes inconsistencies. We arrange our constructions so that we may move from one to another in an orderly fashion, which allows us to anticipate events in ways that transcend contradictions and avoid needless conflicts. We put our ideas into patterns based on what we think is similar or different. The fourth one is dichotomy corollary, or dichotomy of constructions. Dichotomy corollary states that a person's construction system is composed of a finite number of dichotomous constructs. People construe events in an either or manner, good or bad. Kelly insisted that a construct is an either or proposition, black or white, with no shades of gray. So dichotomy is that it is the two-sided ideas or constructs are bipolar. Pag may ada kita honesty, may nagihapon dishonesty. The fifth one is a choice corollary, or choices between dichotomies. People choose for themselves that alternative is a dichotomized construct through which they anticipate the greater possibility for extension and definition of future constructs. In addition, the choice corollary assumes that people choose those actions that are most likely to extend their future range of choices. The power to pick the option for each concept that works best for us, or we choose things we know how it will turn out. The sixth one is a range corollary, or the range of convenience. Kelly's range corollary assumes that people constructs are finite and not relevant to everything. A construct is convenient for the anticipation of a finite range of events only. In other words, people constructs may apply to many situations or many people, but for some, it doesn't apply. So our ideas may work for different people or different situations, pero haiba is diri mag-work at. 7 is the experience corollary, or experience and learning. We look to the future and make guesses about what will happen. Then, as events become revealed to us, we either validate our existing constructs or restructure those events to match our experiences. The restructuring of events allows us to learn from our experiences. It is how we keep trying our ideas against what we learn in life. Modulation corollary or adaptation to experience. This corollary follows from and expands the experience corollary. It assumes that the extent to which people revise their constructs is revealed to the degree of permeability of their existing constructs. So it is how we can change our ideas and beliefs based on what we learn, or we can adapt to new informations. Fragmentation corollaries or the incompatible constructs. Fragmentation corollary allows for the incompatibility of specific elements. Our system of constructs may sometimes credit contradictory or inconsistent. Number 10 is the commonality corollary or the similarities among people. He stated that to the extent that we have had experiences similar to other people's experiences, our personal construct tend to be similar to the construction systems of those people. People with same values or beliefs works together. Last is the sociality corollary or interpersonal corollary. The sociality corollary states that people are able to communicate with other people because they can construe other people's constructions. Not only do people observe the behavior of another person, but they also interpret what that behavior means to that person. Kelly believed that we must understand how other people anticipate events. So these are the key points and tenets of personal constructs theory of George Kelly. First, each person creates a set of cognitive constructs about the environment. Second, we organize and interpret the events and social relationships of our lives in a system or patterns. Third, we make predictions about ourselves and about others and events, and we use this to formulate responses and guide our actions. Fourth, people functions in the same way scientists do. Fifth, he proposed that the way to understand someone's personality is to examine his or constructs. Our interpretation of the events is more important than the events itself.